In the past, we've covered these honor flight trips to Washington, D.C., and there have been World War II, Korean, and Vietnam veterans, and there's been these moments that have burst in little pockets and different memorials because each veteran has a different impact depending on where they go. But on this trip, all Vietnam, it all led to the wall. And in the first two parts of our series, we showed these men leading up to the wall, and today we're talking about that trip to the wall. We're joined today, Frank Greenwood, long resume. He and I went on an honor flight trip a year ago. You are the commander of Disabled American Veterans Reno Chapter 1. You are a Marine Vietnam combat veteran. You and I were at the wall. Tell us about that emotional experience it is for a Vietnam veteran to see all those names.
You know, we all want to remember, and so the wall is that one pill that we can take that allow us to swallow those emotions just for a few moments so that we can revisit those friends, those comrades that didn't make it back. You know, a lot of us, we feel guilty because we made it home. And a lot of times we ask why. Why was I spared? You know, I was there. It didn't happen to me. So it gives us the chance to go up and have that unworded conversation with whoever on that wall it is that we remember.
And for you, as we found your cousin Freddie Ray Cox killed first day in country at 19 years young, that was an emotional moment for you. And being that this was an all-Vietnam trip, there were lots of emotional moments on our trip to the wall just 1.5 weeks ago.
Time for you to rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to welcome you to your wall. My understanding is that for most of you, this is your first visit.
Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund CEO Jim Knotts begins the ceremony at the wall.
Welcome home.
Followed by a speech given by Carson City Mayor and Vietnam veteran Bob Kroll.
2/3 of us are gone. 2/3 of us are gone. It's hard to think that way. When we see the wall, at least for me, there's a flood of memories that comes back, and I know that for every one of us, different memories are going to come back. And I think our job, if I can be so bold to say, I think our job as veterans, as we get older, as Vietnam veterans, is to keep that torch burning, to make sure that this never happens to another generation of folks, of people, of warriors that we send in harm's way, that we never ever have them come back home to an ungrateful nation.
When Perkins was killed, he stepped on a landmine he should have seen. When Lenny was killed, we were down to 6 guys. We couldn't take on 20. But when Bones was killed, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. 18-year-old kid.
Just remember, everybody's gone.
Hungus is over there. Parker's down there. It hurts.
When you see the traveling wall, the names are much bigger, and it doesn't give you anywhere near the perspective of what we have here, and so many young lives that were willing to stand up for what they believed in. To me, it's an awesome thing. Makes me awful proud of what I did, just for the fact that I'm glad I chose my profession.
A visit to the wall by one of our Vietnam veterans or a family member is unique for every person. But the one thing that is common is it is highly emotional. There is just no doubt the emotional impact and the healing value of the wall.
On my way to Vietnam, was on a Pan Am flight. Happened to know the stewardess. She gave me a stewardess pin. Sales pitch for Pan Am was, Pan Am makes the going great. And I wrote over the top of it, Pan Am makes the going safe. And I have had that pin for 48 years. It's sort of completing something in my life. That it's now time to take it off my hat and put it on the wall.
The guy in our high school, he ended up being with the 101st Airborne, my outfit, and I wasn't with him when he died, but he was a trooper with the 101st, and that's all that matters for all kindred, just like we are with all the honor flight here.
It's time I found good closure. Time for you to rest.
Those that had names, which pretty much all of them did.
Just that, in memory of those who died after the war.
That was the hardest part.
The death is not attributed
But they're strong.
to an actual incident.
They're very
in
strong.
Vietnam.
All right, we're back out here live. You were just telling me about those conversations we just heard, how special they are.
Well, you know, it's not too often that Vietnam vets actually speak of what we experienced during our tours in Vietnam. So, you know, this trip allowed us to get together and for everyone to bring forth all those dreams and nightmares that's been hidden for so long. Sure. It gave us a chance to take them out and leave them at the wall and to come back a different person than what we were when we went.
Sure. And these guys do not get to Washington, D.C. for free or by luck. There's a lot of fundraising that goes in to each one. Sheep Dip is a major organization this last year that put a lot of money into Honor Flight. Frank's also standing outside of Sportsman's Warehouse every single day until August. Talk to us very quickly about what that fundraiser is.
Well, we're raffling off a 2015 Polaris Ranger, the Judge, the Governor pistol, Remington 700, 338 Lapore with a Vortex scope. They're $10 a ticket, and as soon as the raffle concludes, we're going to give Honor Flight $10,000 so they continue to take care of our veterans.
And that brings 10 veterans to Washington, D.C. on the next Honor Flight Nevada trip. All right, Joe Shelby, back over to you.